I don't know, Jacob, if you've seen 9501's. They did a video. I was on there the other day. Have a little look at it. It was basically that the players didn't turn up. They didn't do a lap of honor. Like I said, you get paid as a professional footballer handsomely to be booed and cheered. You are there to entertain us, yeah. You are there for us, yeah. Like we come to watch you. We pay in salaries, yeah. And how can you have that disregard to just think that you're better than us, or they're going to boo us? We've got every right to boo you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that's a bit of what Kane meant when he said there are no leaders in the club. Because if you look at the players who actually stuck around to applaud the fans were who? Like Lloris, Kane, Son, Højbjerg.
Was Lloris there? Because I couldn't make him out, brother, and I was there, and I couldn't make him out. The only thing is a lot of them were wearing the same like jacket, so you couldn't, and they had their hoods up, a few of them. So I wasn't 100% sure whether I could see. I could see Højbjerg, his kin was there, and I saw Son. He was just playing like happy families with Højbjerg's kid. I think didn't his old man in the documentary say that you can't get have children or something?
Yeah, he said quite a few times like he's not going to settle down until he's retired.
Yeah, that Son's not going to settle down, is he? Yeah.
Yeah, but then can you still some people face difficulties trying to have children later on in life?
I think in South Korean celebrity culture, like it's very, very normal to have children into your 30s. It's very normal.
Really?
Yeah.
So guys, listen. Who do you think? I mean, I know we all agree that there's some players have got to be moved on. Some deadwood have got to go. Who's the top of your list to move on? Steve, who do you think? And Jacob, who is the top of the list to be the players that need to be moved on so we can reset and try and make some progress?
I will tell you one player. I'll start with telling you one player I think should not be moved on.
That's Davinson Sanchez, isn't it?
Davinson Sanchez. I will die
Are you
on that hill. I will die on that hill.
No, right. The only reason why I stood up for that geezer because he was one of our own, and that freaking documentary bullshit that he did on the websites where he was crying and then he said, "Oh, I was a fan, I was this, I was a ball boy."
Who's that?
Like, fuck you.
Who was that?
He did it ages ago.
Who was the ball boy? Oh, sorry, I missed the name.
Winks.
Oh, Winks. Yeah, Winks. Yeah.
Get rid of Winks.
Yeah, Winks is dead. He is dead to me. He ain't no of our own. He's dead.
Let me give you the names. You tell me keep or save. So Winks is gone. What about Eric Dyer?
Gone.
Okay. What about Ben Davies?
Keep.
Okay. Matt Doherty?
Go. Get rid. Well, actually, whoa. Keep. You know why? Because you know that, in Dumb and Dumber, when they had that scene where they there's that little chance. Do you know what? I haven't played football for about 5 years since I injured my knee ligaments. Yeah. There's that little chance. I'm gonna keep my boots there just in case. He gives me hope, brother. Players like him and Sissoko, I'm like, you're a professional footballer, brother. Trust me, I'm not that bad. He's going to be a backup at best. If you get your money back, that's it. I'm not really. He's kind of one of them that it's a 12 million. So what are you going to get for 12 million?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what about this? Is the one that always causes a lot of. What about Tonge and Dombele? 65 million, 200 grand a week. Has he delivered anything?
Yes, keep him.
Okay, so how much did Man City pay for Ruben Diaz? Same around 40 million, 50, 60. And look what Diaz has done, the impact he's had for Man City. Has Tonge had the same impact for us?
Do you know what? That the Tanguy deal, if you actually look on Lille's accounts, it wasn't that much money what everyone was making out.
It wasn't 65 million then?
I think that was a Euros figure.
Oh, okay, fair enough. It's still 60 million pounds or something, isn't it?
I could be wrong, but he's definitely our record signing. I like him. Keep.
Okay.
I think
Eric Lamela.
The thing with
Sorry.
Lamela.
no.
You know what? Lamela is one of these. Yeah. Like I like the guy because he's one of them that he just bleeds Tottenham. If I told him go and bite off Jack Wilshere's nose, he'll do it. So for that reason,
But if you tell him to shoot with your weaker foot,
he won't do it now.
he would.
What about Gareth Bale?
Keep.
Yeah, keep. Yeah. Oh, actually, do you know what? I don't know, because I've seen glimpses. Do you know what?
Another 2 goals today?
Wait, do you know what? This is the thing with Bale. Those comments that he made, like, oh, the deal was always at Tottenham to players who take the piss out of my club, I take that personally. Yeah. And he said that, oh, I'm only at Tottenham to basically get fit for the Euros. That was always the plan. Those comments were like, and sometimes I look at this geezer and I just, for chewing gum and you don't care. Like, and I just think that he hasn't turned up in a big game, yet he scored winners because we were so shit in those games, like Brighton, Southampton.
But hold on a second, he just scored 2 goals away at the team that were 4th and have just won the FA Cup. Is that not a big game?
Well, Leicester just did a Leicester, didn't they?
Yeah, but they're still 4th, and they've been 4th for God knows how many days, and they just won the FA Cup. So that was a decent team that he played against.
But there needs to be some sort of investigation into this shit. That's criminal. They were 15 points clear in Chelsea, like 15 or 18.
Yeah, they bottled it again, didn't they? Rodgers is a bottler.
Yeah, Rodgers. I don't want Rodgers, man.
He'd be ideal for us, though, mate. If he's a bottler and we're a bottler club, he'd fit in quite nicely, wouldn't he?
Do you know what I'm going to say about Rodgers? Yeah, he's actually he's just a nasty human being.
Is he really?
Read up about like how he missed it. He left his missus and the bird that he's got now. He's just actually a nasty individual.
Oh, okay. Didn't hear that.
I don't know. I don't want Rodgers.
Okay, going through our team again. What about Steven Bergwijn, Stevie B? Keep or get rid?
Keep.
Jacob?
100% keep. 100% keep.
Keep. Oh, Stevie B. Okay, fine. What about our friend Dele Alli?
So.
Okay, and now I'm going to ask you about Son. Now, obviously, I think you'd say keep, but let's assuming he doesn't sign a new contract. He's only got 2 years left. He could leave. He could start talking to people after next season. Should we keep him or get rid of him if he doesn't sign a new contract?
Okay, I have a longer answer about this, but I just have to mute for 30 seconds.
Sure. Steve?
Do you know what I said about Son? I said it the other day in Chenk's space that basically he ain't no purple patch player. My man's magenta. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm looking at him and it's just like purple looking color. It's like the guy for the last like 10ish odd games. It's like I don't know. Son's but he generates so much money for the club.
Yeah.
That I just he's on his day. Is he world class? Yes. But it's just like those days and he do it in big games? Yes. I mean, he scored against Liverpool. The one that I think he got ruled out is love scoring against City.
Well, he scored 2 against the Champions League quarter-final against City at City Stadium, so he does do it in the big games. But I think you're right.
He does it in big games.
Commercially,
so, yeah,
the whole of South Korea is like Tottenham fans buying his shirts and all that. I think they'll pay him whatever he needs because they make it over 5-10 times by sales of shirts and everything.
Keep, but do you know what? The thing is sometimes when you look towards it, I think maybe it's kind of we're looking at him a lot more because the rest of the team, and then you kind of look to those players and then see, because when it's like with Kane, when he's bad, he's really bad. Do you know what I mean? And then you're just like, is Kane actually playing?
Yeah, he didn't touch the ball for the first 15 minutes in the game today.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if that's actual. Yeah, you keep Son though. You keep him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. My stance on it is, if you keep Kane, you sell Son. If you sell Kane, you keep Son. But I don't think both should be here. I don't think both should be here at the beginning of next season.
Both together, you mean?
Yeah, together. Yeah.
Right. Here's the conundrum then. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, then if that's what you've just if that's the thing, then 100% Son goes over Kane. Kane's a generational talent. Son can be replaced.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so Kane. If it means keeping H, then Son's gone. Yeah, gone.
Okay. What about Sissoko? Keep or move on?
Go.
Just go. I'll drive you to the airport. Yeah.
Literally, I've been saying this about Sissoko for a year. I think since the Champions League final, I was like, look, he offers, and I don't like when people say about black players that they offer pace and power. Like, I think that's very, very lazy and stereotypical. If you ask me what Sissoko provides, speed and strength, literally. Like, and he can't even do that anymore.
Yeah.
That goal we conceded against Zagreb, that knocked us out of the Europa
League. He didn't even make a tackle, did
he? The entire purpose of bringing Sissoko on is that he does not allow somebody to run through your midfield. So if he can't even do that, there is no point to having him in the team.
I hear what you're saying, Jacob, but listen, I don't know if you remember a few years ago, when we were playing Inter at Wembley, that run he did into the box to set up the winner for Eriksen. This guy can actually do it, you know.
He could do it. He used to be able to do it, but now I don't think he can't even jump for headers anymore.
Yeah.
No,
I think he's lost physicality.
What Sissoko does, and this is where you realise how much you miss Moussa Dembele. What he does is he gets the ball, doesn't know what the hell to do with it, but he moved it up the pitch, and he kind of relieves pressure when you're getting hemmed in against the bigger teams. So would I play him against your Liverpools, your Cities in your big games? Even though what he lacks in ability is very limited, what he has in ability, but he does have that, and no one else in our current starting 11 or team has that, and that's where you realise, bloody hell, we went from a midfield of Wanyama, Dembele, Eriksen to Lamela, Winks, and Sissoko, and it's like that's some next level fall off the cliff shit, man. Yeah,
I just think at this point, if you're struggling in a game, and you bring on Moussa Sissoko as a substitute at this point, it's an admission of defeat.
Yeah. Well, exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah.
But then Tanguy and him are supposed to be best buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you keep him for that reason?
No, I don't think so. I don't think you keep him. As a buddy for Tanguy, yeah. Keep him for that reason, yeah. 90 grand a week.
So next one. Who's
what about Aurier?
So he doesn't want. I think he'd be great at backup, but he won't want to be backup. So.
Joe Hart. Is he still at the club? I don't know.
He's at our club, and then he's on Sky Sports News, like talking about Man City and being a Man City representative. You know how funny that is. I don't even think get rid of him. I think maybe give him a coaching role, because you need somebody who's going to shout at you a few times. But I just think, why did we buy it?
Yeah. Toby.
Sell. I've been saying sell for a year.
Who's going to buy him now? He's 32 or whatever. Is he going to go back to Ajax or something? Yeah.
I think Ajax or La Liga. Somebody's going to want him abroad. But I think he's a great defender. I think he's done really, really, not really, really well. He's done competently. But I just think that match against Brentford is the first time I looked at him and I was like, "There's no coming back for you."
No,
because it wasn't just the way that he was getting bullied by the centre forwards. It's the way that he kept going into physical duels with them, despite the fact that he was constantly getting bullied.
Yeah.
And that just shows me that he don't really have that. Yeah, he's not good enough in the air either. I just think find somebody else who can do those crossfield passes and just
I do love his diagonals, though. I really do love his diagonals.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Dawson-esque.
What about? I can't remember if there's any other players. Did we talk about Dyer?
You talked about Lucas.
Oh, Lucas. Sorry, yeah. What about Lucas? Keep or get rid of?
Get rid.
I think get rid, but hire him as a social media manager.
No, all of this. He was another man. He was nowhere. Coys.
Yeah.
Stupid little videos. Get him out of the club now.
Carlos Vinicius.
Keep.
No.
If he's cheap enough, keep him, because I think
It's going to cost 45 million to sign him permanently from Benfica. I think.
I think they'd be insane if they charged us that much. I think they'd be
no.
But 15 for him. I think he's worth it.
You know what? If he's blocking Dane Scarlett's progress out, like I reckon. This is my take. If you get somebody, which we scored an insane amount of goals, and how we finished where we finished is criminal. Like Kane, Son, and the rest. Like Bale, Kane, Son, and Bale scored an insane amount of Premier League goals. I think we were like second or third highest scorers in the league.
On a conference thing.
How I think if you get a goal-scoring right-sided midfielder that will complement or take the pressure off Kane and Son when they don't turn up, because it kind of, I have noticed that them two are kind of like a double act. They either turn up or don't turn up together. So I think get rid of Lucas, get in a Patson Daka. Just if we can get him, he's the one person that I want.
Where's Patson Daka playing at the moment?
Salzburg, but he'll go to Leipzig. Okay. They'll just do that.
Oh yeah, because they're just
going to do some.
Do you guys want Sabitzer at the club or not?
Huh?
Marcel Sabitzer. Do you want him at Tottenham?
I don't think we need a player in that position. What does he actually do? Like,
I think he's Højbjerg, but he's got goals in him as well.
This is going to sound insane, but I think if we're getting Skip back in, we don't need Sabitzer.
Skip's not going to give you many goals, though, is he?
He's not going to give you many more goals, but I think between Skip and Lo Celso and...
Oh, we forgot about Lo Celso, actually, Jacob. Thanks for that. Lo Celso, keep or get rid of?
Keep.
I want to keep.
45 million, is he worth it?
Do you know what I want to see? And I'm going to put this one out there. I want to see that Buendia at Tottenham, and we're going to go back to the Argentinian double. Yeah, so we're gonna see Buendia and Lo Celso tearing it up like Ozzy back in the day.
Yeah, Ozzy and Vicky. And do you guys want Juan Foyth back, or should we just sell him to Emery and let him stay at Villarreal?
I think it was a mistake to send him out alone.
They've got an option to buy for 13.5. I heard.
Yeah,
that's way too low.
But it's in there now.
But he's got a year left on his contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I just think he's such. Not only do I think he's a really good player, he's very, very versatile, and he's young. And I just think I think it's just injuries. It was unfortunate injuries that kind of scuppered his progress.
Yeah, I think it was the injuries also, and also, you know what Mourinho's like? The players make a mistake and he doesn't play them. He made a mistake against Norwich or somebody where he gave a goal away, and Mourinho never played him again after that and sent him out on loan. Yeah. I think this is the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the thing. I think the guy is actually like and I don't want to use this term, but I think the guy is actually a bipolar defender. Like, I was looking at the guy and I was like, he's a bipolar footballer. And we played West Ham in the Carabao, I think it was the Carabao, the FA Cup, and we were 2-0 up and cruising. When I mean cruising, I was like, this geezer is a Rolls Royce defender. And then in the first half, I was like, you can't touch this guy. He's so good, commanding, playing out from the back. And I was like, rah, I've never even seen this in this guy. And then second half, capitulation, 3 goals conceded. And I was like, this geezer shit. As soon, like, he was getting bullied. I think I can't remember who they had. They had some lump up front and he was just literally just giving it to him from every single angle. And then I was just like, you know what? I've seen moments of brilliance from you, and then in the same game, you just do something, and then it's just some random shit.
Yeah.
And it's not even It's not acceptable.
I'll never forget that time against Bournemouth. He came on and he got sent off within a minute of coming on, I think. Do you remember that? We were down to 9 men.
Yeah, the guy, he's literally, he does some stuff that's inexcusably bad. And it's just like, what is going through your head? So, the guy's, 13 million, cut him loose.
And Gazaniga?
Cut him loose.
I like Gazaniga. He's such a pretty man.
Fair enough.
I think keep him on the payroll for his eyes alone.
Do you know what? He used to play for Jules, and he used to be out and about local near my area. So,
okay. Yeah.
It's, I don't know.
I think it's time to bring some. It's time to bring some youth keepers through. I think.
Yeah.
We have so many. We have like a backlog of youth keepers who I hear are pretty good.
Okay.
So I think it's now Europa Conference League. Hopefully, it's time we get to see them.
Yeah. So listen, guys, I want to give you guys. You can assign 5. Within reason. Now you can't say Messi, Ronaldo, or De Bruyne, all that. Realistically, which 5 players do you think we should sign? Let's say we're going to sign 5 players. I don't think we will. Let's say we're going to sign 5 players. Which ones do you want?
Max Aarons.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Bendia.
Yep.
Zuma.
Oh, we'll come to you in a minute, Jacob. Let's see. So what? Kurt Zuma.
No, what's his name? Basuma.
Oh, Yves Basuma. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I thought you said Benzema.
Yeah. No. Basuma, Aarons, Patson Daka.
You like Patson Daka, don't you? Are you part of his fan club or something, or what?
The guy's an exceptional talent.
Okay.
And a centre back. I'd like Ben White from Brighton.
He's a good player. I thought he was. I think he looked quite decent actually. What about you, Jacob?
Ben White is a Rolls-Royce defender, man.
So I'm thinking. I agree with Max Aarons completely. I've watched Norwich the whole season, and he's been really, really good. I think Buendia is a very good player. Takes the game by the scruff of the neck. A bit ill-disciplined. There was quite a few times he just either lost his head for Norwich or just wasn't playing where he should be playing. I would want Anderson. I think Anderson looks like a really, really good signing. I think I'm not too sure about Bazuma because I think in terms of centre defensive midfield we're stacked. But
yeah.
I would take Sabitzer. I would kind of want Danny Ings because up front, I think I want Danny Ings.
You want Danny Ings over Ivan Toney?
Yeah, I just think right now we need somebody who's proven in the Prem. Okay. I don't think this particular season, I don't think we could afford to experiment with strikers like this upcoming season. And then in terms of, we need an Eriksen replacement.
Yeah, who is the best? I mean, that's why I think you meant Buendia, isn't he? Isn't he a bit of a playmaker?
I would.
If you played a Buendia, I think that his skill set is so, or even Lo Celso is so, that they could, because Eriksen, when you was looking at the way that he was playing, 9 times out of 10 now, he was either playing on the left or the right. And like Son is so good off the left that whoever you kind of bring into that front, like to accommodate an Eriksen type, he's going to need to be playing off the right because you want a number 10 guy who's like, so Buendia, and then I would play potentially Lo Celso. I think Lo Celso's still got a lot to give to this club. I like him a lot.
And where do you put Ndombele then? Where does Ndombele fit into this?
Deeper.
But then you've got Højbjerg, you got Skippy. Where does it?
I think this Højbjerg I think he's another one. He's seriously like all this. I said this before, like this fist pumping and pointing and all of this shit.
Yeah.
You know what? But this guy, he does, like, somebody was saying some crazy stat the other day that he's been dribbled past like 74 times.
Okay, here's the thing. I think Højbjerg is a very misunderstood player. I think he should be in a lot of people's team of the year because yes, he's been dribble past, but I don't think he's the stopper, destroyer, central defensive midfielder that he was sold. He was told to be. I think he's more. I think that's why I think he would work really well alongside Skip because I think he's more. I think he's more box to box than we think. I think he's more useful in attacking scenarios than we think. He's very. I think the reason he's been drilled past so many times is because he's often tasked with the only person pressing, especially when it comes to counter pressing. I think he's the counter presser in the team, so he'll get dribbled past a lot because when we lose the ball in an attacking position, he immediately goes to press the ball and is obviously dribbled past. But yeah, I think a midfield of Skip, Højbjerg, and Ndombele would just be phenomenal, and then maybe play with Lo Celso on the right.
So what's your team then? Those three in the middle, then who's up front and who's playing behind the striker?
So I think you have. Yeah, I think you have. I would hope you have Kane up front. I would hope. Wishful thinking. Son on the left, Lo Celso on the right. Ndombele, Højbjerg, and Skip in midfield because I think Ndombele does play those Eriksen passes.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just does. And then in terms of defense, I guess Tanganga at right back, Rodin, Alderweireld, and Reguilon.
Reguilon, I've got my doubts about that guy. Seeing his defending over the last few games, I'm really doubting his defensive ability.
Yeah, I think he's in his head. I think after injury, he needs to take some time to just because he's a very, very good player. But I think after injury, his confidence was just shattered. Like even the way he was passing it was so erratic.
Yeah.
And it was very clearly that he's a good player. But I think after injury, he's just a bit.
I think he's better going forward than he is defending.
I think he's really good defending.
I haven't seen that.
I think beginning of the season, like before he got injured, he was a really good defender.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I hope so. Anyway, he's a good player. Let's hope he can come forward. But La Liga, coming from La Liga to the Premier League, it takes time to adjust, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's really well.
Ash is here. Cenk is here. What is going on? How come these boys aren't talking? Ash talks a lot of sense as well. I'm not gonna lie. Ash, speak, man, speak. Ash? He ain't speaking. Yeah, who were we talking about just now?
We were speaking, I don't know who we were speaking about. Who were we speaking? Reguilon. How come defensively he hasn't shown a lot defensively recently?
But Reguilon is getting beaten by Route 1 football. The guy is, trust me, he is a train wreck at the moment. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking, you're not some sort of like a 16, 17-year-old novice. You're a man who's like 23, 24, and you should be in the prime years of your footballing career. I just think a leopard doesn't change his spots, but would I be more comfortable? Because when he does, he's got a hell of a delivery. That's one thing I
remember the cross he put across for Kane, the third goal against West Ham. Beautiful cross.
He puts some absolute peach balls. And that's where I kind of think if you had Sessegnon playing back and him in front,
I think that worked well.
But then you don't have Son.
Yeah, don't forget that when Bale first came, Harry Redknapp said he didn't fancy him as a left back and pushed him further up, didn't he? He said, "You're not a left back, you're a left winger." That's how Bale became a left winger. So
let's see what.
I just think Reguilon's recent form has been a lot louder than his previous form, which was really, really good. I think once he's back on his feet and once he's like got back in the right frame of mind, because I will defend him to the hill because I think he's a very good player and he won the Europa League, which is something that we haven't managed to do.
No,
so I just think
he's a winner. Congratulations to Kieran Trippier for winning La Liga. Lead Spurs win a title.
I hate it when the former player wins trophy because you get the inevitable, oh, we shouldn't have sold him takes, but oh my god. Just because he succeeds in another league doesn't mean he was good for us.
Yeah, maybe I agree with you. Maybe the other league suits him, the slower pace and stuff like that. But good luck to him. He's won a title. He never was going to do that at Tottenham.
I mean, a lot of players have won stuff. Like you got Eriksen, Trippier, Skip won the championship.
Nkudu's won the title in Turkey, hasn't he, or something?
Nkudu won the title. Who I loved Nkudu. Not for footballing reasons, obviously.
Who was the other guy we had? Clinton and G. He's only famous for getting into a fight at Chelsea.
I forgot
the Battle of the Bridge. He got into a fight there, didn't he? Oh, we're coming to the end of an era because Danny Rose's contract is finishing on the 1st of June, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
We should hear some fireworks once his contract's finished.
I hate Danny Rose, man. Like he's
I think he's got some. I wouldn't be too harsh on him, Steve. I think he's got some mental health issues as well, so that all contributes to it.
He was also right. Like he was disrespectful, but in the long term, he was right with everything he said.
Hey, this is the thing, yeah. Like I said to you, these players get paid to do something that all of us fans would do for free.
Yeah.
Don't ever forget that and think that they're like, oh, this or they've got that issue. Get paid. You don't like it, move on. You know what I mean? We can have our opinions about these things because we pay our dues. That's how these kind of sports work, yeah? He said to me, you do not attack the club. Don't fight the hand at you, yeah? I know that Cenk likes Rose, but I've said this so many times. How disrespectful was that? And I was like, I'm not going to sing. Stop singing the guy's name. And I was like, I'm not having this where you're saying that you have to Google thing. We used to sing that Aurier song. Aurier, he punched the copper on the nose. He had to Google Danny Rose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but Danny Rose is always going to be high on my because of that screamer he scored against the Gooners. I can't forget that.
No, I don't like Danny Rose.
That's fine. You don't like him, but he's part of one of the best teams we've had in a long time. Imagine Rose on the left, Walker on the right, Vertonghen and Alderweireld. Have we had a better back four than that?
No.
Quick thing.
And then, can you imagine that team, that back four, and then Wanyama and Dembele in the middle? That's amazing. I remember when we played Chelsea and we beat them 2-0. We just played them off the park. Remember when Ali scored 2 headers?
Yeah.
And they were going for like 13 straight wins in a row, and we stopped them. I think that was an amazing team.
Well, we had this. We had Eriksen.
Yeah, Eriksen. Yeah.
Midfield three. That midfield three when they were on song, like, oh my days. Musa Dembele. There's a few fans. I don't know. There's that idiot on here. Spursy Cobb or Coisy Cobbsy Spurs or whatever he's called. Oh my God, he used to slate Dembele. And I was like, you do not understand football if you're slating someone like Dembele. What an absolute baller.
Why did we keep him? Why did we sell him to... We sold him because Levy wanted 11 million for him. Sold him to Chinese team.
I do think it was a mistake to sell him, but his body just couldn't handle the Premier League anymore.
Occasionally, every 2 or 3 games he could have played, he would have been amazing for us.
Yeah, I guess, it's that thing about wanting to sell him and get some value for him. But I do agree that we shouldn't have sold him at that point.
Could have kept him for the Champions League final.
Yeah, just don't play him in the Champions League final.
There was he had some issues with his hips his hip. He was getting hip injuries, and the way he used to but every single player speaks volumes when every single player basically said who's the most skillful player in the team.
Yeah.
And everyone used to
and not only just Tottenham players, Steve, also opponents as well have said Dembele was an amazing player. I mean, the way he shrugged people off.
You couldn't.
I think one thing we kind of forget about Dembele is that he didn't kick on in terms of form until quite late in his Spurs career.
Yeah.
And he didn't play that much.
Yeah.
I do think he was quite injury prone. His fitness wasn't always that great. But when he was good, he was just so good that we didn't really care.
I can never forget Kante trying to get near to him and just bounced off him. It was just amazing, you know.
I always, when I think of Dembele, I remember that semi-final against Manchester United.
Yeah, but one mistake that doesn't define his Spurs career.
But that's kind of when you have a hero who can do no wrong.
Yeah.
and then he gets punched in the face and bleeds, and you're just like, no. It was like when he got like shrugged off by Pogba.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it happens. But it was the first time I saw him like get like beaten, and I was like, oh wow, he's human.
He lost a little bit of his kind of presence as it were. This is an interesting one for me. Where do you see this Ndembele play? Do you see him as an 8 or do you see him as a 10?
I see him as an 8. I think he's so good at just. First of all, I think he's better at defending than people give him credit for. I think it's become a bit of a meme to say that he's not good enough defensively. He's quite good defensively. I just think he's so good at picking up the ball from deep, driving forward, and finding a pass through the lines. I think he's good as an 8. But I think he can play as a 10 too. But I think he's wasted further up the pitch when he could come deeper and receive the ball, so that Kane doesn't have to.
Yeah, I don't think he's got the. Has he got the strength and the speed to get back? He's put on a lot of weight. I don't know. I prefer him as a 10 where he can just pass those balls through and all that. I don't see him defending a lot. That's why he didn't get a lot of game time with Mourinho.
I do. I think he's massively gotten a lot. I think he's gotten a lot better at defending, and I do think he's pretty good at.
Yeah, well, if he could do that, it would be ideal. Yeah, he can be a box-to-box player.
If we're facing like a counter attack and everybody has to sprint back, he's not going to be the first one to be able to get there. Like he's not that in terms of that. But I do think like when he's asked to defend, he defends pretty well.
Yep. Interesting times ahead, guys. Interesting times ahead, I think.
Yeah. Also, goal of the season.
Mine's got to be the Rabona by Eric Lamessi.
That one match of the day's goal of the season.
Oh, did it really?
No, didn't.
Yeah, it did.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't watch match of the day. What do you guys think is goal of the season?
This is a personal one. I love Harry Kane's second goal against West Ham. Where he
nutmegged Declan Rice, yeah.
Yeah, and then just blasts it in.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's a great
Also, his goal against Crystal Palace. But I think the goal of the season for me is Ndombele chip versus Sheffield United.
Okay, yeah. That's a great goal.
For me, was the best goal. I think it was Bale. There was one of his goals. I can't remember who he scored it against now. It may have been I can't remember who he scored the goal against. But it was on the break, and then he just whacked it. Like, wasn't that the game he scored a hat trick?
That might have been against Sheffield United, was it?
Yeah, Sheffield United. Yeah, Sheffield United. Yeah. Bale against Sheffield United. There's one where he just absolutely just closed.
Oh, that might have been that might have been against Burnley, wasn't it? Nick Pope.
No, he caresses it he hits it hard enough.
I think that's against Southampton, where he curls it past.
Southampton? No, not that one. That was a very good finish. Bale's goals have been very good. I'm not going to lie. So
he's got 11 goals.
That's amazing.
In 11 starts.
Yeah, I hope he stays anyway. What's been when do you think, guys, when did it all start going wrong for us? When do you think this is the thing that happened and our season went downhill from there?
West Ham.
Yeah, West Ham. I was going to say Liverpool when Stevie B had those 2 chances that he didn't put away. I thought we could have...
I'll tell you this now. If there was fans in that stadium when we were 3-0 up against West Ham, there's no way that goes to 3-3. Yeah. That's a fact. That's a fact. That would not... That fans play a massive part of football when you underestimate how much they actually do play a part. And we no way lose that. But yeah, Steven Bergwijn.
2 chances against Liverpool. Yeah.
There was a game, and I'll pinpoint this under Poch's era. For me, this was it was at Wembley. We played Wolves, right?
Oh yeah.
Kane was an absolute beauty.
Yeah.
And then we lost the game 3-1.
Yeah.
And I think after their second or third goal, I just walked out, and it was raining that day, and I had my daughter with me, and I thought, you know what? F you lot, because the club, the team just absolutely capitulated, and they bottled. Like that, everyone uses that term, but trust me, that performance, I was like, do you know what? How dare you? Like I was I was so lost for words that day, and I was like, I'll never walk out of my club. But I was like, I've had enough because this is actually annoying me. That I've taken my time out.
Yeah.
I think that was even on Boxing Day. It was Boxing
It was
Day.
around that time, yeah. I was at the Bayern game and it was 4-2, and I said, I've had enough of this. I got to the station and some guy said to me, 7-2, and I thought, oh my God.
Oh, well.
By the time I got from the Seven Sisters station from the ground, by the time I got there, some guy said it's 7-2 now. I'm glad I left when I did.
The mad thing about the Bayern game, that's one of the first times that we got like destroyed. Where I thought we could have won that, you know.
Yeah, we couldn't. We had Son should have scored 4 goals in 4 minutes.
Yeah,
like,
we could have destroyed them, and we ended up losing 7-2. And I came away from that match being like, what just happened?
There was idiots that started like breaking off the railings from the like inside. You know the paneling in the stadium.
Yeah.
In the south end, there was idiots who were like kicking it and like damaging this. And I was like, why are you doing that for? Like, what is that actually achieving? I don't know why.
I think I think West Ham 3-3. I remember that entire match so vividly because I remember us being 3-0 up and just looking at all the tweets being like, Tottenham might be a problem, you know. I think they might do it. They might do it. And then you see the goal start going, and I remember that moment when the Winks just doesn't clear it. And as soon as he loses the ball there, I'm like, they are going to score.
He just needed to boot it, and then we would have won it. And I tell you what, the key for me was I was off my chair when Bale was through, and he beats the player and he hits it. I thought, God, if this goes in, it's amazing. And he hit the post. Should have been a penalty. Yeah, Yarmolenko fouled him. Yeah,
he was fouled. That was a penalty.
Yeah, I agree. Didn't get it.
It was just like it was the same time he kicked the ball. He was absolutely taken out. That was a penalty. How that didn't go any further, I was just like, what the hell? Yeah, I'm kind of trying to think about Tottenham, and there's this is what I'm trying to think. We are actually jinxed, and I firmly believe it now. And do you know what? Every single goalkeeper in these shitty teams has their 10 out of 10 performance against us. That even that Martinez, he was saving that for us. Do you know what I mean? Against Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Like he saved Dubravka, Tim Krul, Ben Foster, these players that always
forget about them. What about Gwen Gaeta, the bloody Palace keeper? Never has a good game. He had a worldie against us.
So hang on. There's your first one. Your second one is we let these players like Joel Linton scores half of his Premier League goal tally against us. Roberto Firmino, the same. Benteke, oh my days. And Lanzini putting one in and he hasn't scored for 18 months. Like, this is some sort of madness. Do you know what? I think we're actually jinxed. Then
I think we are jinxed.
One is Cenk was posting it out. There's 98 plus players and won a trophy after leaving. Even Poch won one day, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And what about Jamie Vardy? He hasn't scored 3 goals in 27 games, plays Tottenham and scores 2 goals in a game.
Yeah. This is some sort of madness. I'm telling you, do you know what? We are jinxed. We're cursed.
Yeah, we're cursed.
Part of it is though. You get fired up when you play against this Tottenham team because I think whether you're home or away, you're in the dressing room. You're like, if they're scared, right? Especially Mourinho's Tottenham, like he was so concerned about how the other team would play.
Yeah,
that would genuinely seem like Tottenham was scared. So if you're an opposing manager, you're like, okay,
Brian Mason, I don't ever want to see as part of the coaching staff or backroom
staff. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's another Levy thing. If we had why didn't he put Harry Redknapp in charge for 6-7 games?
I said Harry Redknapp put the arm round the shoulder, start caressing their ego.
Exactly.
And then it was like, come on, guys. Like, what's that show that he does where, like, Razor Radic and that against the Germans?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
that one. We need to... we need to
Levy, again, is to blame for putting Mason in charge. We still could have got top 4. instead of putting Mason in charge for 6 games or whatever it was.
The biggest, like, I just didn't understand. Just give Mourinho. I know we hated that shit. Do it at the end of the season. It just made, and it made no sense that we didn't even have a new manager bounce. So I actually think like that Levy, I was like, what have you actually done here? It's like, have you actually put some thought process behind this?
Incompetent, unfortunately. He's incompetent.
The guy just makes me angry because I'm not Levy. I'm not, but like lately this season he's made some absolutely criminal decisions.
Well, he's going to be making the decisions in the next few days. He's going to mould the direction of this club in terms of the manager and whether he keeps Harry Kane or not. There's a few interesting and important days left for Levy because it could be make or break for Levy. If he gets the next appointment wrong and Kane leaves or whatever, it could be curtains for him.